So today I wanted to share something from my director side. I also write and direct films, and so I've seen a lot of self-tapes, some that totally grabbed me and pulled me in, and others that almost got there. And I just wanted to talk about some of the things as kind of general notes that I would give to people auditioning. And the first one is the stakes don't feel personal enough. If it's not that important to you, then it's not that important to us. And I think some actors can conflate being naturalistic with not having stakes, like nothing's important. But you have to separate the fact that having high stakes doesn't affect the delivery vehicle. It doesn't affect like your naturalism, or doesn't affect, it won't make you automatically over the top. It'll just mean something's really important to you. And when something's really important to you, sometimes it's all here. Sometimes it's all internal. Sometimes you might externalize it, but make the scene important. Do what you have to do. Translate the scene, say, what does this mean to me? And if you want to talk about your character, what's on the line, and what would it cost your character not to get what they want, things like that, if that helps. But find the version of the scene that if you didn't get what you want, that it would break your heart, like for real. And if you can get there, you're at the basis of a scene that's just magnetic. So number two is really about getting a full picture of the creative that you're working with, like the text. So obviously there's different styles of shows, so you want to make sure that you're fitting the tone and the pacing and the rhythm and the attack and like anything stylistically that you can grab from information out there. You want to do that so that you're better informed as an actor. So number three, you're holding back, and maybe you don't even realize it, because some of the tapes I've seen are just very neutral, and they're trying to be polished and professional. And to me, and it comes off as just kind of vague. Like there's no choices being made, no strong choices being made. It's kind of like you're afraid to make a choice, and some of the choices that people make are just, they think they're afraid it might be too out there, but maybe the out there choice is more interesting than just being neutral. So number four, there's a hint of desperation in the energy. And this is tough because it kind of speaks to where a lot of actors are, which is they just really want this part. Obviously, if you're auditioning, you want the role. And we know that. Like as a director, I'm just like, yeah, if you submit, I know you want the role, but bring your work and leave your personal life like at the door as best as you can. We know that you want the job. So, and we want you to get the job. We want you to be the person. Like I'm rooting for every self-tape I see to be the one. I'm like, I want them to be great. So don't think that they're not on your side. They are. So number five, you're rushing. You're too fast. A lot of people that I've seen, they just go so fast. Like they're saying the lines as fast as humanly possible. And even their scene partner, like, the real note here is build out the beats, flesh out the beats. I want to see a shift. I want to see you start somewhere else and then go here and then go here and then it gets to this. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to build like that, but I want to see you go somewhere. When you skip over the thoughts, the in between, the putting it together, we lose so much of you. We lose so much of what makes you special and unique. And we want to see that. We want to see those in between moments. So number six, you're forgetting the arc. This is kind of what I was saying before, but even in a short scene, we want to see you start somewhere and go somewhere else. Something always changes in a scene. Something always shifts. The power shifts. The perspective shifts. You are getting what you want and then you don't. You don't have what you want and then you do get it. We have to see that motion. There's motion in emotion. Emotion is a very important part of it. You're playing the emotion instead of the want. This is generally a trap that newer actors fall into, which is, oh, I'm crying in this scene. I'm angry in this scene. They label it by the emotional response that should be there in the scene technically. But acting, in my opinion, isn't about crying. It isn't about being angry. It isn't about a result of an emotion. It's about, what does this character want? Emotion is always a byproduct of being truly connected to your scene partner, to the text, to what you're saying, to the moment that you're playing. And if you're truly there, and if you're truly connected, and you're open as an actor, and you're open as a performer, and open as a human being, to receive emotion, it'll be there. And maybe we don't have to see you cry. Maybe we can feel the depth of your sorrow if you truly are brave enough to connect to it. So be brave, be vulnerable. I mean, acting is a place where it's safe to like feel these big emotions. And I think what I see is that a lot of actors are afraid to really go there. They're afraid to, if you don't, my litmus test for myself as an actor is if I haven't shared something real in this scene, like about myself through the prism of this character, then I haven't done enough. I haven't done enough work. I want to feel like, what am I sharing today about myself? I'm sharing how I fall in love. I'm sharing how I commit a crime. I'm sharing whatever the scene is. Share something about yourself for real, and you'll feel more connected. You're cutting off the last moment too soon. The words are almost irrelevant to acting, and it kind of feels weird because you're like, well, the text is what I need to say. And it's like, yes, those are the words you need to say, but what is the behavior that propels those words? And if you mess up a line, that's how you're still in the scene because you're in the scene. It's not about I messed up a word, so the scene is the scene is ruined. No, the scene is in the moment. It's in the energy. It's in the style. It's in being connected. So in general, it's just about really being connected with yourself, with the material, and with your scene partner if you have one. And the more connected you are, the more that that will care on the other side of the screen. So if any of these hit home, I'm glad. I have learned so much just watching actor self tapes on the other side of the table. So if you get the chance, I highly recommend it. So if this was helpful, and I hope it was, feel free to subscribe and like and comment. I really appreciate you connecting with me, and I'd love to continue the conversation in the comments. So I'll see you there.